This coming Monday, when you're watching this, is when the truck is being wired up. Hopefully that will take a week or two, and then it will run, and then we'll dyno it, and then... Where is the drift truck? The question all of you guys have been asking. Today, we're gonna go head over to Mike's shop, check out the drift truck, do a little update, talk about what's been done, talk about what's going to be done, what needs to be done, talk about all the things that went wrong while it was getting done. Today is all about the drift truck, so it's gonna be awesome. The last time you guys saw it was the last time I saw it, which was over... Actually, I kinda wanna check, I'm gonna check. Today is January 10th, that last video was November 21st, so that's like 50 days? Right? Because an entire month and then 10 days in January, 10 days in November. So yeah, 50 days! I haven't seen this truck in 50 days. I totally have forgotten that I owned a V8 powered mini truck. It was 50 days ago, Jared.
50?
50 days, nice. Yeah. It's been a really long time since Mike has been in a video, so I'm sure he will gladly talk about the truck because I don't really know what has been happening, so. Yeah, let's just go to the truck. Taking the GTI. And we're here. And look, my truck is done. All right, so we are here. And look, my truck. A lot of progress has been made. It looks like a disaster. It looks like it's terrible to work on. Look at that.
Well, yeah, so basically we mounted up the ECU. It's a Link Extreme.
Okay. Super nice.
Yeah, Link is basically like the best in the business right now, unless you're gonna go with like a Motec or a Pectel or something like that. Yeah, their new G4 Plus line is, it's honestly just the best. Yeah. Like I was a hardcore Haltech guy until this newer stuff came out and I've started to use it.
It's like this entire ECU is like a molded aluminum. It's really crazy.
It's so nice.
So this ECU is right here mounted in the stock location, which is really neat. The old engine harness had a bunch of issues.
Yeah, it was all like chopped up. Like whoever ripped it out of the car when they sold the engine was basically just like, hurry up and hack this out and get it on a pallet. Originally we were just planning on doing like a jumper harness, and now we couldn't do that because we didn't want to take a chance that the OEM harness was such a hack job thing that this thing would have a ton of problems later on.
Yeah.
So now we're just building a harness from scratch because to Adam, that's like a normal, very short decision to make.
Yeah, going from, right, because originally I thought the end of the stock harness was like right here. We were going to mount like the ECU there and just call it done. But now it's going to be much better this way.
Yeah, since this is like a skid racing truck, we didn't want to put it in the front corner anyways because like,
yeah, it's going to get banged up maybe.
Yeah, if you end up pancaking the front end, destroy your whole ECU and stuff like that would suck. Yeah, so like in the stock location, it's nice and protected, and no matter what, even when you have passengers, nobody's going to kick it because it's up out of the way. You know, even though it is, you know, a weatherproof case and all that stuff, if you don't have to put it in a situation where it needs that, then it's better anyway.
Pretty much the stock harness had issues, so they're making a new harness, but the problem is that there's no wiring diagrams anywhere, so Adam is over in the corner manually pinning out the stock harness to figure out like where everything is.
Right. Now, I'll show you that too.
Okay.
Like, it's a ton of headaches to go through it, but it's Adam and he for some reason enjoys it. Yeah, it's like super peaceful to like kind of chill and do it, but after a while, like there's a lot of stuff here, and so like this, I don't know. To me, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. So literally, we had no idea what a single wire here did, and he has to figure out what every single wire does in the entire harness.
Yeah, and the USDM harness uses different connectors, it uses different wire colors, and some of the stuff's even in different locations. So like when we tried to use the USDM diagram, it just ended up not working. So now he's got this thing here where he's basically going through by hand and labeling every pin, you know, in this harness. This is all different setups. You see, it's B2000. Like this is all related.
That is
to
ridiculous.
And then he's going to have everything go to this Canon plug. So on the firewall, this is going to be here as like a bulkhead connector, and this will be on the harness side, on the engine side. And so if it ever has to get taken out, it's just literally something where you twist it off, pop it out, and done. Since it is super compact and it's all centralized, if there's any kind of wire hunting that needs to be done, you can literally take the one connector off and you can see if it's an issue on the body side or if it's on the engine side right away. And then we had to take off the intake manifold.
Yep.
In order to get to the starter.
Yeah, the starter is underneath the intake manifold, which is a very inconvenient location, but hey.
Yeah, Toyota thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, that's where we are. What all has to be done in order to get the truck done?
So he's just got to finish the rest of this, which is like...
Looks like he's doing pretty good progress.
Yeah, he's got a ton already knocked out. He's just got to... I think it's these 5? Yeah, it's these 5 connectors that he has to finish. I think this is the one. One of these connectors, there's like 7 total. And one of these main connectors is not even needed anymore with all the stuff that's basically getting trimmed out.
Right, I mean, get rid of like all the emissions crap and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the useless functions are just going to be trimmed out because when we make the new harness, we're only putting back in what's necessary.
Right, that'll be so nice too, having a harness that is personalized for the engine kind of thing.
Right. Once he finishes that and sorts that out, then we basically take the diagram that he's made and transfer that over into the new harness, and then it runs. Throw it on the dyno and send it.
Right. I mean, he has to trim the harness, we'll do all the connectors and stuff, so it's a lot more work. But
oh yeah, it's a ton of work, but like after this part, it's not difficult.
This is the time-consuming, tedious kind of thing.
Yeah. After that, it's literally just going to be something where everything is just kind of start knocking it out piece by piece. There's no more unknowns. The thing that takes the most time is figuring out what does what. He's not even he's not really a Toyota guy either, so it's like he's not doing this from like a basis of having encyclopedic knowledge of this kind of engine.
True.
So like he's basically got to teach himself based on just known logic of how everything works, what Toyota did, and basically has to reverse engineer all that to put it into the link harness.
And make it all work with the truck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is totally never supposed to work with that engine.
Yeah.
It's like no pressure.
That's kind of part of the problem about using a 1UZ. They're not very popular, so there's a lot of issues and there's no wiring diagrams and all this crap just makes it harder, but...
Yeah, most of the information that we've actually gotten is from Australia.
Yeah.
Like Australia and New Zealand.
Yep, they use a lot of 1UZs there.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, so we've found out a lot of info from that, and it's a lot of work no matter what, even after this part is done. It's just that from here, it's very straightforward. So like basically he goes from the opposite end, so like he'll know, say, this is an O2 sensor connector. So
right.
He'll check the wire colors here, say on this red wire, he'll put the one lead on here. He'll go to this side and find a similar colored wire and then find out whichever ones those are, test them. And then after he tests them, like, okay, this is the one that actually matches.
Right.
And then write it down.
And just look at how many freaking connectors there are. So that goes to show how much work that is. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's going great, but... Exactly. Jared said it's going great because I'm not doing it. Just imagine if I would have tried to do this, it would have been so terrible. And if we would have used the jumper harness and tried to make that work, it would have had problems. Although this is maybe taking a little bit longer, it's gonna be so much better when it's done. Like, we won't have to worry about having a single wiring issue forever. And it's got a standalone, so when we go to boost it, we can just boost it. We don't have to do the wiring stuff then. Should I supercharge it or turbocharge it?
Turbo all the way.
Sure.
See, Adrian said there was no way I was gonna fit a turbo, but it looks like there's perfect amount of room right here.
I know a guy with a welder. Make it happen.
Were you the one who voted for supercharger?
I said it'd be easier.
Yeah, it would be so easy just to plop a supercharger. Like,
Oh yeah, it would be easier, but like you asked which was better, you didn't ask. Which.
That's a good point.
If we're gonna be men about it.
And Winter decided it was actually gonna happen. As I record this outro, I just got word that Adam has finished mapping the factory harness, so it is now on to making the new harness. Excuse me, it's adorable. Did you throw something at me?
No, I never would do that. Well, my hair looks really red.
It's because it is really red. Can I finish recording? Axel's massive compared to me out there. That's hilarious.
He's my favorite. I mean, I don't have favorites.
Right, so Adam has finished mapping the old harness, so it is now on to making the new harness, which that's pretty much the last step, even though it's a, long step. It's gonna be a rush to finish the truck by the end of the month for our trip down to Texas, but we will hopefully get it done. There's a chance that it won't be finished and we won't be able to bring the truck down to Texas, which will stink. Then we can bring the Turbo Miata, Molly, we can crank up the boost and have some fun there, since it'll be pretty much the last time driving with the stock motor. I know it's taken a little bit longer than we wanted to get to this point, but it's alright because the finished product is going to be so much better. This truck was a first for a lot of things. It was the first engine conversion we've done, it's the first truck we've done, the first solid rear axle, so the first project I've done any amount of fabrication on. So of course it's gonna take longer than we expect. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. If you didn't enjoy this video, please give it a dislike and write a comment in the comment section below telling me how I can improve. If you want to support the channel, support the builds, go check out Patreon. Also follow me on my other social medias. I've got Instagram, I have Twitter that I post updates pretty frequently on, so go check those out. I hope you all had a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Peace out.